Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, December 16, 2022. Jamaica has entered into 2 new agreements with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to reduce vulnerability to external shocks while pursuing greater investment in renewable energy and other development areas. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, announced yesterday that government had reached a staff-level agreement with the IMF for its Resilience and Sustainability Facility, RSF, and a Precautionary Liquidity Line, PLL. Through the PLL, Jamaica gets access to approximately $1 billion should it become needed. The country will access up to another $763 million through the Resilience and Sustainability Facility. This is at an interest rate of 3.8% with 20 years to repay and no principal repayment for the first 10 years.
This is a compelling instrument that, if we access, would not only support our climate resilience building strategy, but also potentially save Jamaica approximately $35 million per year over 20 years in interest costs. As against accessing financing in capital markets, it would allow us to invest in job-creating and resilient infrastructure, enhance our transition to renewable energy, thereby reducing our energy vulnerability, even as we continue to prioritize human capital development.
Minister Clark says entering both arrangements at this time is a forward-thinking move that seeks to maintain and expand on the robust economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic that Jamaica is experiencing.
This is an engagement of choice. These are not arrangements that we have to make, but rather financings that we choose to take advantage of to keep us strong, to build our economic and climate resilience, to create buffers, to expand our fiscal space, to broaden our options, and to help us prepare in advance for any adverse external developments that may arise.
The finance minister made the announcement in an address to the nation yesterday. In other finance news, Jamaica's new banknotes have arrived and are slated for phased release into circulation in 2023. The overall process could take up to 6 months, with an estimated timeline for completion in June. The new series includes the introduction of a $2,000 bill and a redesign of the entire suite of notes. The unveiling of the printed polymer notes took place on Thursday at the Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark.
Now, these notes are quite different from the notes that exist today, as we have mentioned. They feel different, they have different features. And in order for them to be in circulation, the Bank of Jamaica has to work with the existing commercial banks to ensure that the ATMs can be reprogrammed to efficiently handle these notes.
In addition to the durability, security features, and being more user-friendly for the visually impaired, Dr. Clark says a key advantage of using polymer substrate material is that the new notes can be printed by multiple banknote producers.
Some of the notes that we have introduced over the past 2 decades are notes that only one specific supplier can produce. And that might have been necessary at the time, but going forward, this is certainly an improvement, and one that I think you would all welcome.
Meanwhile, the Bank of Jamaica BOJ says it has put more state-of-the-art security features in place to protect the new series of banknotes from counterfeit. Governor Richard Biles says this is necessary to remain ahead of counterfeiters who are using more sophisticated technology to threaten banknote security worldwide. The banknotes were printed by British firm De La Rue, the world's largest integrated commercial banknote printer. Country Director Gareth Evans says Jamaica moving away from cotton paper to polymer will significantly reduce counterfeit.
If you take the Bank of England, for example, as short ago as before their polymer journey, they were up around 100 counterfeits per million banknotes in circulation. Since the introduction of polymer, they've dropped down to 23 counterfeits per million. Bank of Canada has a similar story as well. And the security features that are used on the new Jamaica banknotes are cutting edge, very similar to the new features on Bank of England and Bank of Canada. So we would expect a similar level of counterfeit protection.
Governor Biles says other benefits of the new notes include durability and cost saving on reprinting.
This will result in at least a 50% longer average circulation lifespan of the new banknotes. Consequently, going forward, the banknote reorder quantities will be lower and reordering will be done less frequently.
The BOJ governor says arrangements are being made for the disposal of the polymer waste material without compromising the environment. In other news, Jamaica is expecting a strong winter tourist season with approximately 1.3 million airline seats secured and projected earnings of $1.4 billion. Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett says over 930,000 seats are from the United States market, with the Caribbean also increasing its contribution to airline seats.
Regional tourism is picking up back, and that's a good sign for us. So we have a 16% increase in the seats from the Caribbean.
In addition, he says Jamaica's average daily rate, ADR, which measures revenue earned from occupied rooms, has increased by 20%. Minister Bartlett says all this augurs well for the country's foreign exchange stability and growth, putting the net international reserves NIR in a healthy state.
We are going to see a winter that's going to have a very strong arrival, but even a stronger earning, and that's important. Now, what this does for Jamaica is to create demand, strong demand, for more goods and services to be provided by our Jamaican local stakeholders. And that's one of the things that we want to emphasize.
The winter tourist season officially started on Thursday, December 15. And finally, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is reporting that the prevalence of COVID-19 and monkeypox outbreaks, now known as Mpox, are at an all-time low. This was confirmed by the ministry's National Surveillance Unit, which has been tracking the figures. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave an update during his ministry's end-of-year press conference yesterday. While the numbers are encouraging, he is recommending that members of the public continue to use caution over the holiday season, pointing out that new COVID cases were confirmed in the previous week.
That's December 6th to 12th. We confirmed 42 new cases, bringing our total case count to 152,711. Regrettably, we also recorded 5 deaths that occurred between December 2020 and October 2021. The total deaths for COVID-19 now stands at 3,452. with 349 still under investigation and another 295 noted as coincidental COVID-19 deaths.
As for the Mpox numbers, it currently stands at 18 with 1 active case.
We note that 16 of those cases were transmitted locally and 2 were imported.
As of right now, Dr. Tufton says the numbers do not warrant placing restrictions on the public, but he says the ministry will continue to monitor, engage with partners, and make internal assessments moving forward. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.